Let's do the New Orleans Saints, and I applaud you giving yourself the task of rebuilding the Saints and making them a Super Bowl contender. Because if you talk to them, their ownership, they're contending for Super Bowls right away.
Yeah. So the graphic is okay. So the graphic is they're at negative $39 million in cap space. So
Oh my bad.
I had to read so many articles and go through so many things to figure out how they can get out of this cap hell, which they always are in. Like Sean Payne really left this horribly for this regime. Poor Kellen Moore has to. Okay, either way, I went.
Yep.
This is not me just randomly putting out numbers and me randomly putting out restructures and cuts. I did research. This is my positive outlook on how to change this team from what it was last year to one step in the right direction here. So let's start with this cap number. Let's fix it in 2 minutes. They're negative 39 and the cap right now. Releasing Kelly Sanders, Cedric Wilson, and Foster Monroe saves you 7.8. Right, that gets you to 31 million. There's
Yeah.
easy restructures for center Eric McCoy, Caesar Reeves, and Carl Granderson. Those guys that you don't cut, that you keep. If you restructure those to signing bonuses, you save 17 million there. That puts you at 14 million. Then this is the one that's gonna kind of haunt Saints fans. You restructure Derek Carr's, you spread it out, but that means he's on the roster for 2 more years. So you save
Oof.
30 million with a quick restructure because he's already said he's not taking no damn pay cut.
Nope.
He earned all that money.
Yeah. Watch the tape.
Yeah,
Watch the
watch the
tape.
tape, dude. So
Yep.
he takes it's not even a pay cut. We stretched out this to 2 years, 30 we saved $30 million. That puts us at 16 mil over the cap. That's pretty nice starting point for a team that started out with negative 39. That's
Yeah.
research. You can go look this up. This is not me making up numbers at the top of my head. This is what will actually happen if they
All
were to
right.
do
We
this.
got it. We
Which
got it.
to make sure, I don't want people to think that I'm just making shit up. All right, with $16 million, let's start to play around here. I think the first thing you do is extend wide receiver Rashid Shaheed. Last year, a breakout season. You don't know the future of Chris Olave, and you found something good with a good wish Shaheed. I think you keep this guy in house. Obviously not a number one, but a good asset to this passing game, to this wide receiver room that is iffy right now because you don't know if Olave is one hit away from like retirement. And so I think adding him and extending him here is my step one. You would extend him, right? He's a good wideout.
I'm trying to get the injury report on him here. It's a meniscus. It's a meniscus tear. So you would imagine he's gonna respond from that pretty positive. It's not a terrible prognosis. It definitely gets worse. And so yeah, he was electric, man. He was really breaking out, and
Yeah,
I like him there. And yeah, like what you said about the other receivers, you have at least one guy who
yeah,
can go and do it. I like it.
yeah. Yeah, and then I'm gonna re-sign a guy who actually found his footing here last year. Found his footing back in the league last year. Defensive end Chase Young here. Let's keep him in
Oh
house.
yeah,
Let's not lose. Let's not lose these players here. Let's keep him in house. Then let's try to build something off this off last season. Chase Young here. Let's sign him back. Get him into a nice. I don't think it'd be a whole lot. It would be a lot more than it was last year, but you can maneuver the cap, or these teams are good at going over the cap. So let's just do that. Either way, keep him in house. Chase Young here. It worked there last year. Let's not mess it up, right?
yeah. If it works there, I mean, we saw him play as good as he's played since he's been on the Commanders. And
Yeah.
so I don't know what it is about New Orleans, but he's been good there. Yeah. Why let him
Yeah.
out?
Yeah. So my next move here is a response. I'm gonna sign Morgan Moses, right tackle, because Ryan Ramczyk might retire.
Yeah.
He had a restructure, and all the articles I read, all the reporting is that he's leaning towards a retirement with knee issues, which sucks. He was a very good tackle there. But
Yeah.
The
Bummer.
Morgan Moses here gives you a nice right tackle, not great, but not bad. Solid right
Right.
tackle. The offensive line is not bad. The offensive line isn't as bad as people think. I think Kellen Moore coming from the Eagles for 1 year kind of saw the necessity and the power that you can have with a good offensive line. So I think here Morgan Moses is nice, easy, not expensive tackle here. And then here's my last move here. I'm gonna do a trade that you've been hinting at and makes sense for this team. I have them trading for tight end Dallas Goddard. Obviously, the connection with Kellen Moore is there. They're gonna lose Juwan Johnson. They might cut Foster Monroe. They have Taysom Hill there, who's not really a tight end, really. And you have Foster. You're losing almost your entire tight end room in one offseason, or one's getting older. So I think getting Dallas Goddard here to help this wide receiver receiving room, like tight end, obviously, but like still like help Derek Carr here. Are you a fan of this? Do you think it's realistic that they would trade him?
I think it's definitely realistic. I'd hate to see him go to the Saints and finish his career in New Orleans, but I think it makes sense with Kellen Moore going there. Obviously, you said they're losing Jawan Johnson. He's also a good run blocker, and I know Alvin Kamara is got a lot of carries last year. There's no reason to think they won't give him the rock a bunch of times this year. And so having that nice, like classic inline tight end, I think he's a good move. I think this definitely could happen. Like
Yeah.
he's I don't know if they would take on his contract. I think they would probably need the Eagles to give him a little help there. But maybe if they floated out a third round pick or a fourth, I think maybe it might get it done.
Yeah, you're just trying to. This is mainly this Chris Olave insurance, just in case he doesn't bounce back to what he once was. You still have Shaheed, you still have Dallas Goedert there to at least balance it out.
MVS also played well for them.
Yeah, that could be a nice late signing. Derek Carr and him, for some reason, played well together. We don't understand why, but whatever.
Yeah.
So in the draft here, last year they drafted Kool-Aid, McKinstry there. This year, let's go back to that cornerback and draft at number 8, cornerback Will Johnson, Michigan. Let's start pairing these corners together. Paulson, Adebo might leave. Let's just replace him with a nice young stud cornerback and rebuild that cornerback room. Start fresh. I think this is a nice move for them. They have a lot of holes here, but I think at corner you have 2 young cornerbacks. That makes you feel good as a fan base and as a front office. Like we're at least addressing the problem, a problem.
So something I am like impressed that they did last year is ship off Marcus Lattimore. I think he's as washed as they come, and to ship him off just at the right time. He's also kind of a head case, and now in less than a year rebuild that room with Will Johnson and Kool-Aid McKinstry. You've gotten much, much better, much, much cheaper, and much, much less drama. So I think that would be very impressive if they could pull something like that off.
Yeah. So this is my view on the Saints. Like that's what I think is restructure. Just hit singles. You're not trying to hit home runs or triples. Just hit singles. Get yourself in the ballpark because this division is very winnable. It's not a tough division. So I think little moves here get yourself in the right direction. Let Kellen Moore actually be able to cook on this team.
Yeah, and you've married yourself to Derek Carr. So at the end of the day, this if you're not winning or if you don't go as far as you want to go, it's because Derek Carr's not good enough. There's really not much you could do to this roster. Not that it's a great roster, but you've made it so that you're relying on Derek Carr to play really, really good football. Maybe Kellen Moore does unlock that. We'll see.